I'm going to show you the 22 changes I have made to my Kawasaki Z400, and it's pretty much the same machine in a more standard riding position as the Ninja 400. So I'll start. I'm not going to count them off, but I will point them out to you. This makes it easier when you have to do something like adjust your chain on the road. If you've got a cotter pin in there, you don't really have a good tool to get the cotter pin out to adjust your chain. You don't have to fight with those to get them out. I put the spools on to lift, to do chain adjustment, and to do oil changes, things like that. This bike, when I bought it, had a Yoshimura muffler on it, and was a little noisy for me, so I put the stock exhaust on. And the first thing I noticed was that the dead spot just off idle that I had become accustomed to by letting the clutch out a little slower, slipping the clutch a little bit, giving it a little more gas when I would pull away from stop signs. The bike has more grunt now from the initial pull away from a dead stop. It just does with the stock muffler. Not only that, but whenever I'm downshifting using engine braking, I noticed that the bike has more engine braking now. When I let off with that stock straight through muffler, it didn't have any back pressure, and it just didn't have as much engine braking as it has now. I like this much better. And the main thing is, I'm getting about 10% more gas mileage with the stock muffler. And I think it sounds better. I can hear the engine more. I just like it better. I just do. I think it looks better too. What else have I done? I put these are foot pegs off of a Ford. I got them new on eBay for about 10 bucks. They're rubber topped. Now that rubber on top isolates you from the tingle, from the buzz, from the engine, which is solid mounted in the frame. It's noticeable. Good improvement. To get rid of the buzz through the bars, which, I mean, that wears on you. I put these foam grips on because when you have a bike, you're leaning on your hands, you know, you're leaning on the heel of your hand all day. That's how you steer it, by pressing on the palms. That makes it more comfortable because you're not being buzzed through the bars. I like the foam grips. I've also added a Corbin seat. Now, I just rode it for the first time here in April. It's the first time I've had a chance to ride. And I have to say, this is a great improvement over the stock seat. It's wider. It's got more. It's a firmer rubber padding in there, but it spreads the load out more because it's wider, and I like it. It seems to be more form-fitting for me, but big improvement there. I've added this little magnetic tank bag for, you know, little things you got to carry with you, you know, like maybe water. I throw my cell phone and my wallet in there so I'm not sitting on them and I can't lose them. I tethered it to the bars because it's magnetic and it won't go flying off. And what I like about the magnetic bags is they stay in place. The ones that are held on by straps, you have trouble finding a place on the bike where to hook the straps. And the bags move, they slide around constantly. So I like that upgrade I've done. when you're commuting, it's cold in the morning, or you're coming home late at night and it's cold, these levers can pull the heat out of your hands. You know, if you're working traffic, you know, stop sign to stop sign, or you're in stop and go traffic going to work in the morning, and you're working the clutch a lot and working the brake a lot, that metal pulls the heat out of your hands, even if you have thin gloves on. I put leather over the levers that was leather I had left over. I just used 3M contact spray you can a lot of different adhesives, but you just work with it. That's real thin leather. That's glove leather. I was buying scraps of it on eBay. I get like 10 pieces about this big, 8x8, on eBay for 10 bucks, free shipping. All different colors, beautiful leather. It's just crop ends. I put these hand guards on to try to stop the wind from going up my sleeves on cooler days, and they worked. As a matter of fact, it was a little warm when I took it out for the test ride with the new seat, and I wished I had left them off because it was in the mid 80s, and they were keeping the wind from going up my jacket sleeves, which I unzipped to get some air. So I think they were like 15 or 20 bucks on eBay. I mean, they're flimsy, but they did the job. I don't want to add a lot of weight to it. Added these fork caps. They're adjustable for preload. The reason I put those on is because I put a Suzuki GSXR 600 shock on there. The stock shock is pretty much shot after about 3,000 or 4,000 miles, I'm hearing, and it's not rebuildable. So the Suzuki shock is the same eye-to-eye length. The diameter of the bushing is the same size to take the same bolts, and that's adjustable for not only spring preload, but for damping and rebound. So you can control the rate of the spring rebound and the compression. When I put that shock on, I felt immediately that shock was better riding. I weigh 220, and whenever I would go through dips in the road, I could feel that that shock was working immediately. So to match the heavier rate spring on that, I put these preload adjusters on the front. And I really can't say I've had to adjust them because I like the way it is now. Everything seems to be working front to back. I don't get any head shake. I don't get any tank slappers, no wiggle. What else have I done? I put real horns on all my bikes. You can't just bolt horns on. You have to get what's known as a horn relay, which is just a switch that sends power to the horns or it doesn't. And you pull the coil in on the horns, on the relay, by pushing your horn button. And it's just a little coil that makes the connection with heavy gauge wire. This is number 12 wire. If you want loud horns to be loud, you have to feed them with big wire. So I put those horns on. And because I have those loud horns on, I don't want to upset people by scaring them with loud horns. I put this bell on when I see friends of mine, and I get smiles instead of "What the hell's the matter with you?" All right, I wanted to raise the bars a bit to make the bike more comfortable. You know, I didn't want to be leaning as far forward, and I did that by using the stock bars mounted in these ROX bar risers. They go into the original perch on each side, and you can rotate them forward or back here, or you can rotate the bars in this part of the perch to get different wrist angles. ROX bar risers, I like them. I put an aftermarket windshield on that I got on eBay last year for $29. That looks exactly the same as one, I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's spelled Puig. It looks exactly the same. It came with the mounting hardware, the stainless steel hardware, the brackets. It went right on. I didn't have to drill anything. It ended up being square and straight. I'm going to paint it. Now when you paint something like that, you want to paint it on the inside. I'm going to paint it black because you don't look through it. And I think I'm going to paint it gloss black on the inside. But that is about 4 or 5 inches taller than the stock one. And that made a big difference. It takes the wind off of my chest. Okay, what else have I done? I've added this. It's called Hepco Becker rack. It's very well made. It has recessed hardware. You don't have ugly tubing or, you know, pipes coming back in a rack back here somewhere that's flimsy. This is solid. It plugs right in and locks on to the space where that passenger seat was. It's got these elongated strap holes where you can use bungee cords through there. They thought of everything with that. All right, and on that rack, I added this trunk. Same deal. I don't have brackets and ugly hardware holding up the trunk. If I have to get under the seat to get to the pull cord to remove the seat, I can use just the ignition key to remove the seat. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to demonstrate how slick this trunk is. Just turn the key, push this button, off it comes. Walk into the hotel, there's your suitcase. To put it on, just line up the tabs. I'm doing this one-handed. There, it's latched in the front, it's on. It's locked on. You can lock your jacket, your rain suit, your tire repair kit, your lunch. I take 2 jackets on days where it's cool in the morning. I'll wear a regular jacket, and if it's going to get hot in the afternoon, I'll have my mesh jacket stuffed in there. And I'll swap jackets when it gets warm. But anyway, take it off again. It's off. Now I'll show you how that rack comes off. Watch for it to pop. That's it, it's released. That's all there is to it. Here's what it looks like underneath. Those 2 elongations there plug into these 2 slots. And this post right here plugs into the original latch mechanism that holds the seat on. Really, it's beautiful. Very simple. Now I can get to the pull cord to remove the seat. And under the seat here, I made some alterations. There was a little door here, about this big. I don't know what it was for. I saw no practical use for it. Maybe in other countries they have different regulations. But I took it out and I butchered some of the plastic under here to give myself more room to get my tire repair kit in there. In the tire repair kit, I have my paperwork for the bike. I have this pump, it looks just like that in here. I carry extra vulcanizing glue and plugs in here. Carry my spare key for my trunk. I carry extra fuses. They're not in my tank bag, they're not in my toolkit, they're safely in here. I might never need them, but I always have them. I have my plugging tools for the tire, extra strap, in case I need a cargo net, extra plugs and glue in this package right here. Down in there I have an additional strap. I got my helmet lock here, cable, because you put your D-rings on these little posts here, but some helmets don't have D-rings. So you just put this through the helmet and hook it on there and close the door. It's secure on there. I also have a longer one, a longer cable that was a laptop computer safety cable. I put that cable, it's about 3 feet long. I put that down the sleeve of my jacket, and I'll hook that on there, and then I will put it into a little bag, and I will store it under here, and it's locked on. But there's a lot of space. I mean, there's a lot of space under that seat that's wasted. So make use of it. What else have I done? I'll show you under the seat. This is Corbin's seat. I told you that. Okay, there's my other strap. I added this power cord, which I had to identify the polarity because this plug is for my Witter electric vest. And I can plug in my power adapter for plugging in. Where the hell is it? I guess it's in my trunk. But I got a cigarette lighter holder, a little cigarette lighter receptacle that I plug into here, and then I can plug in my Garmin. If I choose to keep the standard plug on it, I can plug in my battery charger for charging my phone or my camera, whatever. But that's what I've done under the seat. And I've added a magnet right there. That silver thing on my drain plug. That's a very strong magnet. I think it's called an Alnico magnet. I play guitar, and those magnets improve the power of some pickups. And I stuck that on there to magnetize the drain plug to keep magnetic debris in the oil from recirculating over and over. Let's see, what else have I done? I had to put this piece of plastic over the shifter because that stock one wore a hole in the leather of my favorite Bates made in California street bike boots. But I bought this shifter rubber replacement that I'm going to install on there. I don't know how it's going to work, but it goes on like that, and it spreads the load out over a larger area for your boot, and hopefully it won't chew into my boots. But that's pretty much everything that I've done to it. Of course, I'll think of something after I stop the video, but I'm very happy with the bike. The seat, the trunk, the rack, the tank bag, the windshield, the grips, these covers, these hand protectors. They've all made a difference. And I'm not shy about using my horns. Whenever I see someone that's maybe getting out of their car, maybe making a left turn, maybe pulling out of their driveway, I let them know I'm there. I am not shy about hitting the horn. But anyway, I've sort of civilized the bike. I do not change the air cleaner. I do not change I don't flash the computer. And I'm very much happier with the stock muffler. It gets better gas mileage. It has better power at what I would call the drivability range, where, you know, right off idle up through mid-range. And it seems smoother, and it has engine braking now. So I sold that Yoshimura muffler. I don't I don't like it. It was, besides it being too noisy. You know, I don't want to call attention to myself. But anyway, nice bike. Those are my changes. And I really like this little thing. It's a very trick little bike. I'll see you out there.